Good morning, Bitcoin. My name is Thomas Hunt, and this is Proof of Work. Proof of Work is a show about the people behind Bitcoin and how they got here. Today we're joined by Felix. How's it going, Felix?
It's a great sunny day here.
It's nice to be in Essen, huh? Have you been here before?
Yes, last year, same event.
Nice, nice. I was here 2 years ago, but I missed last year, so it's good to be back.
Great. I met you anyway last year, but in Berlin.
Ah, I was in a different place. But I also got to go to Germany. Pretty lucky to go to Germany, I don't know, 2-3 years in a row now, so it's been all right.
You're here every year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you never leave. So far, so good. So we're going to go ahead and start with everyone's most favorite and familiar question. What was your first computer?
Okay, first computer was 90s 486.
Nice. And what did you do with it?
I guess I was pretty young, and what did I play? Master of Orion 2.
Nice.
Civilization.
Excellent, excellent.
Loading pixel by pixel.
Yeah, I used to love those games, the long strategy games. Civ was good. I was more Command and Conquer, more like real-time strategy, less of the turn-based ones, but I'd still played a few of the turn-based ones, like them, stuff like that. So.
Me too, like the first Warcraft.
Yeah.
Too, but that was already on the Pentium.
Oh yeah, already into the future. I know, I couldn't run that on 486.
Right. Visual Basic was a thing as well.
Nice. Were you?
Not much.
Not that much? You weren't that into programming?
Unfortunately, yeah.
I know.
I kind of regret it.
Yeah. So did you stick with computers? Did you study them in school, or did you kind of leave them alone after that?
I'm building computers until today.
Yeah, nice. Selling them, like the parts, like putting them together, or software stuff?
I'm always buying them by parts.
Oh.
Only single parts.
Oh, yes. Interesting, man. I did that for a while where we were big into the video games like Doom and Quake, and you'd need a new video card. And I remember one time my friend got 2 brand new video cards, connected them together so they would de-interlace, and one card would do half of the lines and one card would do half of the lines, and
wow.
You know, Quake ran faster and Doom ran just a little bit faster and a little bit nicer. Those people were really hardcore about it back in the day.
Yes, Unreal Tournament, yeah.
That
was FPS.
Yeah.
Coming around.
Nice.
Epic times.
Yeah.
Yes. I did buy a very strong GPU once.
Yeah.
I think that's for the next.
Sure. Well, it's so funny now. If you're a gamer and you have a strong GPU, you just might have mined Bitcoin. You know, you had that opportunity. Whereas back then, you could play games with your expensive video card, and that was it. Like maybe some acceleration for 3D modeling or something like that, but nothing like today.
Now it's a dual-use technology.
Yeah, it is. It really is, and AMD profited by that, and then not so much. So maybe again too, though. So we'll see.
Actually, Nvidia was the best investment.
Yeah.
Boom. Yes.
Interesting.
It like 10x'd.
Yeah.
And was better than most shitcoins, even Bitcoin.
And you could buy it on the traditional markets. You use your retirement account. It's all there.
And we could have known it, you know, because actually in 2014, when I first came into real touch, not just heard about Bitcoin, I bought a GPU for that purpose.
Wow.
So I was in New York, and I thought, okay. So I went to the Micro Center. I bought my usual bag of components, and I put an extra heavy graphic card in there to put it in my office and let it run 24 hours.
Nice. Did you mine Bitcoins?
Yes.
It was a solo mining, or were you on a pool?
Yeah, I was on a pool.
Cool. And then you got something, like it worked?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, I recently found the old hard disk with the mining.
Oh, fantastic! Oh, leaving as hard as it may be, accidentally leaving money on an old hard drive turns out to be a great storage strategy.
Yes.
We had a very, very small mining operation, and we ended in the red, like we'd lost money. But then we accidentally left some of the money on purpose on an old hard drive for a few years, and then we cracked it open during the big boom, and suddenly our mining company was profitable. We did it. We broke even. You know, it worked out.
Right.
but it was only because we left it on that computer. If we didn't wait 2 years for that, and of course, oh, we should have saved it all and all that, you know, it's the whole thing. But
one year later, I gave it up. It was just running for a few months. And then Crypto Winter 2015 came, and like it was the end of all the altcoins.
Yeah.
At that time. And, yeah, it just didn't make sense, you know. And then of course the end miners came, so you couldn't do anyway. GPU mining for Bitcoin already wasn't profitable. You could do like Litecoin and stuff. Like some of the altcoins, and of course in the Crypto Winter that also became nonsensical.
Sure.
Not worth to even open the programming.
No, well, and it was amazing how fast it moved. One day you had this amazing card or this amazing ASIC that was making you money, and it was just printing you money, and then the next day it was a little less, and the next day a little less, and then not worth running at all. And this amazing chip, we have I don't know, old Antminer 1s or old ASICs, and they're amazing technology, and they're completely worthless, and they do nothing, and they're just junk, and it happens so fast. So.
Planned obsolescence is a big thing for miners.
Well, this is more like a race. It's like a land grab. Everyone's like, I've got to get in there first. I've got to get my mining chips out. I've got to get the next chip, the next chip, the next chip, and it's even more hardcore than like going from a 486 to a Pentium or just going to the next chip up. Because it's such an aggressive race to try to get those Bitcoin.
How is it coming along now, the 7 nanometer miners actually?
Well, I've been writing them myself. No, I don't know. I don't hear anything good from Bitmain. So I hear...
Any inside information there?
Only from that guy on Twitter who claims to have inside information, and he says all bad things. So, but now we're really fortunate that there are other mining companies, that we don't just have to rely on Bitmain. There are other people making chips.
Yes, and there's Korea, right?
Yeah, all over. Korea, Japan, there was a large company, did some big investments.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if they've released anything yet, but part of the great thing, especially remember Butterfly Labs, is why not just mine with your own chips? Why even bother selling them? So if you had a really good chip right now, why not just mine with it for a few months and then sell it later? And that's what Butterfly used to do, is they would mine with their customers' machines and then send them out. Or why even bother sending them out? Why just keep them? Allegedly, that's what Butterfly did.
To have to burn them in.
You have to burn them in, you have to test them out, yeah. We used to do that at the computer labs, bandwidth testing. We would make sure the bandwidth was working good. We would keep that at a high level.
Extensive multi-round speed test.
Yeah. We're going to need multiple people. We had teams of people working on it. LAN parties. That's great. So
collectivized approach.
That's right. That's our strategy. So did you stick with computers? Were you studying it in school, or did you go a different direction?
I wanted to go into sciences like physics, but then I discovered like this amazing, intricate financial system we got. And what kind of possible options there are.
Yeah.
So I studied economics instead.
Interesting. So this puts you right in line for Bitcoin. You got the technology, you got the economics.
Yes.
What happened? When did you learn about Bitcoin? Was it right away, or?
I first heard about it 2011. Like one of my friends, I was in New York that time also, and she proposed, let's run a lot of the computers in our office and let them mine. Yeah. That was such an awesome idea. Yeah. That we never got around to execute.
I know. Yeah, I had the thing where I was running like Boink and SETI at home, and those collaborative computer projects. They would try to like crack prime numbers or something, and I would run them on all my computers. And
SETI project.
SETI project, yeah.
I did that already in 2000 or something.
Yeah, I was running that, and that's the one. And that's the one where I had administrative access to the computer labs, and they probably shouldn't have given it to me, but I had it. So I was like, all these computer labs should be mining for me, for SETI. So I got them all set, and they were all cranking away, and I was going to find the UFOs, and I was on it. Awesome. And I got a little certificate. You have like 1,000 units of SETI at home for mining it.
Great.
But I never got any money, and they never became valuable or anything. There were no tokens. And then, of course, years later, if I had done that with a Bitcoin, if I had turned the computer labs into my Bitcoin mining machine, there was actually money there. So it really changed things quite a lot.
So I think that's common for all of us, right?
Yeah.
We all had like several points in history where we could have made like a great decision.
Oh yeah. No, we didn't. We all thought.
Well, we made a bad decision.
Yeah.
Instead, you know?
But the great thing is there's still time, and I think there's still room for Bitcoin to grow, and there's new people to get into it, and that'll naturally drive the price up, and then they'll tell us their stories about they could have bought at 3,000, they could have bought at 5,000. Oh, it was such a good deal. And we'll be like, yeah, 300, 500.
So I bought my first Bitcoin in 2014 in New York.
Nice.
On the Satoshi Square.
Excellent, excellent.
Yes, Tony Race was there, he did the auction, and I had the highest bid.
Wow, fantastic. You got a whole Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It didn't mean as much. It didn't mean as much back as it was. What,
there were lots of
$300.
Yeah.
I mean, it's $70. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that big. Now it's like a whole Bitcoin. Like, yeah, people are way into it.
Yeah, even milli Bitcoins.
Yeah, yeah.
Would be nice to have.
That's right.
Yeah. Every milli Bitcoin counts.
Yeah, it does. Adds up.
Of course, every Satoshi counts, but yes. I mean, let's go for the bigger ones, milli Bitcoins.
Yeah. So after you found Bitcoin, what did you do? What kind of things did you work on it after?
Yeah, I actually immediately recognized that it's very valuable technology. I think it was the big thing.
Yeah.
For me, I was really blown away.
Yeah.
And because of, I already was following gold, and then this was like the digital gold. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And I'm like already heavy in technology and like future trends. That's really my thing. And so I saw it's going to go places. And so I had my expectation. I think I'm going to hodl for 10 years.
Yeah.
And my target is 50,000.
Nice.
That was 5 years ago. And I think we are about halfway along that path.
Yeah,
Yes.
Max Kaiser is sticking with his $100,000 target. He just keeps saying it, and people are really starting to listen to him now. He's been predicting Bitcoin will go up for quite a long time, and he's been totally right this whole time. It's been going up.
I was watching Max Kaiser also for a long time. Global financial crisis. He really was shining in that one, and I was watching him at that time as well.
Sure.
And yes, ever since actually. Really entertaining. And yeah, I have to admit I upped my target a bit. Yes.
Nice.
Especially when it goes to the 5-digit. I mean, maybe 50,000 is a bit low, but.
Well, I'm still waiting for 1 million or maybe 10 million, something like that'll be all right. Maybe I'll sell something then. Yeah.
It's going to take 20 to 30 years, I think, for the 1 million mark. I don't think it will be that quick.
I don't know. Things move pretty quick.
Six
like if we can get the
fast. Six figures will be fast.
Yeah.
Yes, at least a spike. But for the 7-figure region, I think it could take a while.
Yeah. We need a lot of adoption.
It's not a fast
there,
adoption phase for this kind of technology. It's a very fundamental base layer technology for the global economy. And yes, I'm really looking forward for the positive implication it will have for all mankind, I think.
From an economic standpoint, you think it'll change things?
Yes. Because, I mean, I believe in free markets. I'm quite libertarian myself, and I think prices are the information, the signal that actually we make all our decisions according to prices. That is the central information layer. So the more precise and honest this information layer is, the better the decisions and the better the outcomes. That is logic for me.
Do you want me to horrify you? There's a shop in Las Vegas in the casinos where they've taken all of the prices off of all of the objects, and they're using variable pricing, and it's a convenience store. So you're like going to buy a bag of chips and you're going to buy a soda, and if you buy a bag of chips and a soda at 6 o'clock in the evening, it's a certain price, and if you buy it at midnight, it's a different price, and none of them have prices.
Yes, I thought it also, like using AI for dynamic pricing.
Yeah, dynamic. They started with baseball tickets and concert tickets and things like that, where obviously you want to see the Yankees play, you're going to pay more. Michael Jordan comes to town, whatever it is, LeBron James, those things. But to see it for chips, to see it for sodas.
Well, of course, it's not about consumer goods. It's about capital goods, investment goods. I mean, those are, from an economic standpoint, of course, on the value basis, the large majority, and the one that matter for long-term decisions. So how are we steering the big container boat that is the global economy? And so because of bad pricing and bad signals, misallocation happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Mises, that's Hayek. Austrian economics, which is kind of my side of the economics.
Nice.
Theory.
You'd get on well with Max. He's very much an Austrian.
Yes, so, I mean, I think this misallocation is essentially it's wasted labor.
Yeah.
You know, I don't believe in this theory. Okay, let's dig holes.
Yeah, bury money in, dig it back up. Yeah.
Put them. Yes.
It still work, right? No.
No, it doesn't work. Yes, that's not the approach.
I think the next push is to space. The next frontier, the next open, because we always talk about how, settling the American West, settling the world with the ships and the global reach of everything, and now there is no more frontier, but there seems to be one in space. So
I got in touch with also like a startup in asteroid mining in New York.
Yeah, nice. That's what I always say when people say the value of gold is steady because the supply is steady.
Yes,
right up until the point where we figure out how to mine asteroids, or maybe even bring one into orbit with the planet and mine it while it's there, or orbit it around the moon. We've got options. So.
And it's quite near term actually.
Really?
If you look at it from like a macroeconomic perspective, and
sure.
because you count in decades,
it's
not that many decades away. We're talking about 2 or 3 decades.
Sure.
That is actually.
And as long as the demand is there, as long as people want the gold, they're going to be motivated to go get those asteroids. So.
And there's a big discussion. There's valid opinions in that direction to actually switch again more to gold. To actually recapitalize the central bank balance sheets with the gold reserves by marking up the price.
Sure.
10x. So you would suddenly have a much more capital reserves in the balance sheet of the central bank, so you could inflate the monetary base more, right? So that would be like a kind of last measure, but to make this shift, maybe not that wise if in 2 or 3 decades you have a huge influx of gold from external sources.
That would be a bad idea. It's so funny if they tried to do the right thing by switching to gold as a sound money, and then gold becomes an unsound money. What a whoopsie. But again, Bitcoin's there the whole time, locked in at 21 million units, deflationary mining structure. It's the thing you want.
And I think I'm also on the group. I think it has a positive ripple down effect. So I think it actually sparks more technological innovation also in other areas of the economy. So I do believe that blockchain technology is applicable in industrial contexts. So
we'll have to see. I've heard some examples, but we'll see.
Actually, we had one on this event as well.
There
was a team here. It's a young startup, and I think the thing is to have an open platform and price information. Yes, and because you put a price on information, it gets more tangible, and it gets easier to exchange it on an open platform, actually, on a decentralized platform, to open up systems and to free up information and not keep it proprietary in silos, in corporate silos, which I think is antithesis to a libertarian society.
It sounds much better. I know they did intranets in the 90s, and they would have like a company information service, and they'd have all their stuff, and it was all centralized, and it couldn't get out to the rest of the internet, and it couldn't be, discussed and critiqued and copied and all those kind of things. So they thought that was an advantage, but it turned out it was much better to be on the main internet and be discussed and critiqued and even hacked or copied or whatever. At least your project is now, interconnected with the rest of mankind rather than in a silo all by itself. Do you think they'll do that now? They'll continue that idea?
I hope it will be forced to continue that idea. I mean, we do have a trend to open source the foundations, so to make them more robust. So actually you're forced to use like a more robust foundation, otherwise you can be kicked out of business by major breaches, which you cannot control because you cannot know all the flaws in your software stack. And the more broad it's based, the more broadly, the more attackable it is, actually the more resilient it becomes. So, Microsoft is building the Linux kernel now.
I know, into Windows. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't know what to think about it. Yeah.
You have native Windows, Linux on Windows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Quite amazing. And of course, I mean, they were forced to it to make Azure work.
Yeah.
It could be competitive with AWS. I mean, yeah, you have to offer Linux server infrastructure, right?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think it's going more in that direction. But we need to also open up all the layers in the stack, right? And there need to be open standards everywhere. So Telegram has also like an open API. Everyone can build clients, compile clients.
I like the open API thing, but I also don't trust it anymore. I remember when Twitter had an open API, and when Facebook had an open API, and
Google was running on XMPP protocol.
Yeah, you could do it was interoperable with Pigeon and AIM and Open Chat, and I could have all my chats into one little box at Adium or I forget the Windows program, but
there was Trillium.
Pigeon, I think it was.
Pigeon, right.
Yeah, and it was great. Yeah, Trillium was good too, a little prettier, and. Yeah, they blew all that. Now I have 6 or 7 different messaging apps on my phone, and they're all the same thing: WhatsApp, Signal, Facebook Messenger, text messages. I don't have them all in one app anymore because they're not interoperable and all that. They gave all that up, so it's too bad.
Totally agree on that point.
Even today, people.
It's a common interest.
Yeah, people were talking about Google Reader.
To not go that direction.
Yeah. We need these things back. They're not coming back. Unless we put tokens on them. You can have Google Reader if you put tokens on it. I don't need any tokens. So what are you working on now, Felix? What are you working on now?
I fully focus on Bitcoin.
Yeah? Excellent. Yes. Just spreading the word or programming, or you got a startup, something undercover, can't talk about?
Yeah, all of it.
Good.
You find me regularly.
Yeah.
All the important events going here.
Excellent.
Meeting people, and also I'm working on some projects that are in the sphere. Yes.
And where can people learn more about your work or follow you on Twitter, something like that?
On Telegram.
Telegram. All right. How can they reach you, or they have to meet you at a conference and then they could hit you up on Telegram?
Nexus1 is my Telegram handle.
There you go. And what are you looking for? What are you interested in working on? If people had an idea out there they wanted to bring to you, what would they bring?
Yeah, I think mostly intersection Bitcoin, how to get more adoption for Bitcoin, and how to use it as the main platform, I think.
Nice.
So Lightning is my biggest interest.
Great.
But I'm most hopeful that this actually really gains traction.
Nice.
And is used in broader context. Yes.
I think so. I think people have just got to give it some time. They want the software to be done the first time, and they want it to be perfect right away. And nothing's ever like that. It's going to take several years, and it's frustrating because we want it now. But software is not that way.
So maybe I will give you a hint. Yeah, in a few months there will be a demonstration based on Lightning.
Nice.
So, yes.
Excellent. We'll keep an eye out for that. Thanks so much for the interview, Felix. Enjoyed it, man.
Thank you.